Alrighty, guys, here we go. We're going to be working with um, the 11A3 Carroll Company, and you're going to find that on page 430, okay? So we're working with this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try to make this bigger so that you can actually see it, and we can actually begin to um, see what's, oops, that's a little too big. Focus what's going on, okay? Now, on this, the first thing that you're given is you're given the trial balance already. All of this information is already there. What we're going to be doing is adding the adjustments, then making sure that once we've added the adjustments, we're going to be entering the data into the adjusted trial balance, and then of course also making sure that we've got our income statement and our balance sheet. All right, so based on the information that we have, what they want us to do is to make sure that we understand that the ending inventory on December the 31st was 1825. So here it is right here. Okay, so we've got it. Then the office supplies used up was 210. Then the rent expired was 205. Depreciation expense on office equipment was 500, and the office salaries earned but not paid were $300. And I know you're thinking, what am I supposed to do with that? I have no idea what to do. Very simple. Okay, it's okay. Calm down. So for A and B, what it's saying there, this is your A and B right here. So the beginning inventory, okay, when we had it, was $4,951. The merchandise inventory on December the 31st was 18, right here, okay? So we have this that's ending here. So we have the 1,825. This is what we're going to put in as far as an adjustment. So A was credited here. This was debited. This is what we've got left. Okay. Then on office supplies for C. Okay. For C, we've used up $210. So again, office supplies, here's C. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that for each one of these, we're going to make sure that we've got, if we need to add, we're going to add some of the expenses down here. So here we go for C, okay? Office supplies was $210. So you have to then debit, because we have to have a debit, of the office supplies expense, and then you're going to credit the office supplies expense, the office supplies up here for $210, okay? That's how much was used up. Instead of telling you how much is on hand, they're telling you exactly how much was used, okay? So that when we take the beginning amount, we subtract, because this is the debit, we subtract the amount here on the credit side. We now have an adjusted trial balance of $669 and, $669. The other thing also here, again with our inventory, we're going to adjust it to where we have now just the 1825. That's what we're doing. We're showing what we have as far as the debit, and then we're bringing that debit over into our adjusted entry. Nothing happened with cash, nothing happened with petty cash, nothing happened with accounts receivable, so those come over regardless. But here, this is what we're doing, our adjusting entries and our adjusted trial balance as well. So then for D, it's showing us that we had a rent expired of $205. So we go to our rent expense. We have to add this, to add it. It's not there before. So we debit again our rent expense. Then we credit our prepaid rent because we've got a balance here. So when we go ahead and subtract the 205 from the 602, we should end up with $397. Okay, please check my math just to make sure. So that's what we're going to go ahead and have so that we can show how much money we actually have now going forward. So debit, credit, we subtract the credit, this is our new balance. Okay, for E, now this is accumulation. This is your depreciation. So the depreciation expense on office equipment was $500. So again, we have to add the depreciation expense because it's an expense. We debit $500. Okay, then you credit your accumulated, meaning that we're continuing forward, and we're adding $500 here. So on the adjusted trial balance, notice this is the normal balance here. You're going to be adding, because it's a credit and a credit, so you're adding $7,700 now that goes on your adjusted trial balance. Then office supplies earned but not paid, okay? Which means what would we do? Office supplies payable, here, debit, here, your expense, making sure that it's going to be, on your F, I'm sorry. You're going to then debit your $300 right here, on salaries expense, $300. Then you're going to, of course, credit your office salaries payable, which we have to add here. Then what you're going to do on your adjustments is you're going to make sure that all of this adds up correctly. This is what you should end up with, okay? Check your math and check my math too. When you're going over, as I've showed you, any account that we did not touch, the balance is just forwarded, okay? For your adjusted trial balance, and this is what you should end up with as well for your balances. Then for your income statement, and remember, income statement only has your revenue, right? How much you've got with your inventory, what you've made on it, your sales, and your expenses. So this bottom half is what we're working with your income statement, okay? So if we add all this up, we end up with $49,678. On this other side, though, we end up with $55,327. When you subtract, remember this should jog your memory, when you subtract the 49 from the 55, we end up with the $5,649, showing that from our income minus our expenses, we ended up with only an income of $5,649, okay? And if we add this back to the 49, we end up with the same amount on either side, balancing again. Then for your balance sheet, we're going to do everything except the income and the expenses. So you're going to get all your assets, your accumulated depreciation, of course. You're going to end up with, what's on this other side? Your income summary. Then you're going to also bring in your payables, your liabilities. And then we're going to go ahead and add both up again, okay? So when you then go ahead and add this amount to the 19,000, you end up with the 25. Again, your income you have to put into your balance sheet so that you're able to go ahead and again make sure that you're going to come up with the correct amount as well. I know I went by this pretty quickly, okay? You can, because this is a video, slow me down so you can see what I've entered where, right? And this again is your demonstration for the first one. Go back, look at this again if you need to. Contact me, ask me questions, do what you need to do, and then make sure that you complete your other assignments that are on this, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, 11B3 as well, okay? All you're doing is a worksheet, okay? And again, I'll see you on the flip side.